I left Oxford in when, 31, but I think the great pro-communist feeling was rather later, and I certainly was deeply opposed to that for two reasons, really. One was that I became a Roman Catholic, and I regarded communism as being the natural enemy of the church. And secondly, I was private secretary to somebody who's not very well known today, although his biography is about to come out, and that is Lord Lloyd, who was one of our great proconsuls. And I learnt from him all the abominations that were being committed in Russia by Stalin, and it infuriated me that my very clever contemporaries didn't see and recognize these evils, and on the contrary, like Guy Burgess, who was a friend of mine, became communists themselves and traitors eventually. When Guy Burgess actually disappeared, I was as surprised as everyone else was. But the fact that he was a communist with Soviet sympathies was no surprise to me at all. I knew about that.
Well, how did his other friends act towards him after they knew?
I dare say a lot felt as I did. Some very nobly communicated with him, wrote him letters in Russia, because I think he was rather lonely, really. Harold Nicholson, for instance, kept up quite a correspondence with him.
E.M. Forster spoke about putting one's friends before one's country.
I think it's absolute nonsense, because one's friends are part of one's country. And if you put an individual friend who behaves in a traitorous way, and they are putting at risk one's life with one's other friends, and putting at risk the civilized form of life which we luckily have had in this country.